Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to episode 4 of Table Talk. Today we have Sophie Anderson joining us, the women's assistant basketball coach. But more than that, she is the life of the party, an encourager. She
Oh,
has so
wow.
much passion and heart for SWASU and SWASU athletics. So it's an honor to get to talk to you today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, York. That was a little bit much. I wasn't expecting that intro, but thank you so much. And I'm happy to see your face. It's been a while. I think the last time I saw you, we were at United, and I didn't know if I was allowed to hug you or not. So it's just good to see your face.
Yes. Where are you going live from today?
I am sitting in the kitchen, homeschooling my son, and he's over there writing his sight words, and we're just hanging out at the table like our normal routine.
Yeah, that's awesome. Uh, is that Cam?
Yes, definitely Cam.
What's up, Cam? So, how has this kind of changed your routine and your day-to-day stuff?
Definitely different. Normally, you see me, I am in the hallways. I'm always telling Coach Music, I'll be right back. And I head upstairs and I'll see Pam and I'll talk to Pam, and that's 20 minutes later. And then I'll see someone else in the hallway and I'll talk, and that's 5 minutes later. And she'll call me, hey, I thought we were going to finish this conversation. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll be right there. So normally I'm bouncing around, talking to people, hugging on people, high-fiving people. And now we're just sitting at the kitchen table on the computer and, just emailing. And so life has changed. Not necessarily bad, but it's definitely different as far as my interaction with everyone on campus.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's been hard for me just to like sit there and know I have stuff to do, but then like
Mm-hmm.
not feel productive or just kind of like, nope, I can do that tomorrow. It's just a very
Yeah.
weird kind of like juggling. How do you create, like everybody's saying, like this new normal, but you're in a
Mm-hmm.
different role with being a mom and helping the kids out and everything.
Yeah, homeschooling is definitely different. My hat goes off all those teachers and the time that they put into it. And we always said, teachers are underappreciated, but just definitely having to be at home and, just the emotions Cam's in first grade, but it's still emotional and he doesn't want to do it. And I mean, as an adult, you can handle that a little bit better, but he'll cry and pout, and so it's definitely been different and a struggle. So I thought I wanted to homeschool maybe, but not for me.
This is the confirmation that
Yes,
you belong on the
definitely,
court.
definitely,
Ooh,
definitely.
that's awesome. How has it changed like recruiting for you guys? Because isn't this kind of like your recruiting season, or do you recruit heavy in the fall?
Right. Honestly, recruiting never really stops. I mean, just being a good recruiter, you're always talking to someone year round, just trying to stay ahead and just stay connected. But it definitely has changed as far as this is the time we normally bring kids on campus. And, we have visits, one or two scheduled, for the next 3 weeks in between off season. So that's the different part, not having kids on campus and walking them around, meeting them, showing, them our facilities and just, what we do and what, who we are. And so everything's just been on the phone, and we have talked about maybe doing a virtual thing depending on, how long this is going to get drug out. I mean, we just don't know. Right now, we're not able to bring people on campus until June 1. So, I mean, that could be different. I mean, some people may want to sign by then, which I understand. So it's just staying in the air, and everybody's on the phone now even more than they were before. So phone calls, texting, which is, that hadn't changed, but just face to face is just obviously different.
Right. And like getting to see an athlete and how they interact with family or just like in general is huge. Like eye
Yeah.
contact, just their charisma really helps
Definitely, and
a lot.
just how to handle them. I mean, honestly, a lot of people, they don't know how to talk on the phone, these
Yeah.
days, because everything is, type or text, and they really don't know how to communicate and interact. So just watching and recruiting and their body language, how comfortable they feel, the next question to ask and who to kind of bring around them when, they look like they're alone or they're unsure or, that will be similar to their personality. There's a lot of things that play into recruiting, especially when you can see them face to face. And then meeting their parents. Their parents tell you a lot about who they are and who they will be. And we're missing out on that because we don't get to talk to their parents and see them as much because we do interact with the student athlete a little bit more on the phone calls and text messaging. So yeah, you're right. That's definitely different. So it could be a surprise to people as the season comes out because you can recruit this person. And then when you see them on campus, in the fall, you're like, whoa, I didn't know you were like that. Or, whoa, I didn't know you even talked, so it could be totally different. Maybe in a good way, hopefully.
Definitely. Oh, speaking of basketball, I pulled a Scott and I'm wearing your your Elite Eight, but I got it at the national championship when we came.
Love it. I love it.
Which kind of leads me into the next question. Can you kind of walk us through, because on one of the episodes we got to talk to Doug and he kind of gave us the administrative perspective of what happened when y'all got the news at the tournament that it was canceled, but can you kind of give us as the coach and knowing the players, like what that was like to kind of receive the news that y'all weren't playing?
Right. Well, we'll start back to the conference tournament, and obviously we got beat first round, and obviously heartbreaking, embarrassing. As a competitor, you never want to go out the first round. You always, obviously, your goal is to play in the championship game. So us getting beat first round, Monticello played great. We did not play our best, and it just is what it is. We just didn't win. And honestly, I looked up, it was 1:48 on the clock, and I was like, we were down 4. And I was like, whoa, they just had momentum that it was just scary at the time. And I was like, come on, ladies, we got to pull this out. And that's the first time in a very, very long time I was just like, whoa, this may not happen, and they just had momentum. They were getting steals, just things were happening for them. And that's just what happens in the game. Once you get rolling, whether that's good or bad, that momentum takes you in either direction. And, honestly, time ran out. They were playing well and we just didn't play our best and we moved on. So, thank God we went into that game. I think we were ranked number 5 at the time. So we were just hoping, and we knew there was a good chance that we were able to still make it to the national tournament. So we were like, hey, we didn't play our best, but it's not over. It's just a setback for a good comeback. And it just wasn't over. And I just knew in my heart that we were going to get a second chance, and that's what we needed. So thank God we ended up finding out on Sunday that we were going in as the number 8 seed. And we would be playing Central Mo, which, it would have been a great game, great competition. We were fired up, ready to go. And so as we are driving up, I think this was Wednesday we left, and we just had a great week of practice. Everybody was, shooters were shooting. I don't even know if they missed a shot, and just a great connectivity, a good competitiveness. There was trash talking. We were just fired up, ready to go, on both ends. And it was just like we need a redemption. And that's how we went in. We practiced hard that week, and we were just ready, fired up, and ready to kind of display what SWOSU women's basketball looked like. And so we go in Wednesday, we're on the bus, and we're getting news, and we're like, whoa, okay, hold on. We heard about, the virus and things going on, and we were just like, okay, is this really going to happen? Nah, they're not shutting down March Madness. That will never happen. Just Absolutely. Unbelievable. Yeah, we just would never think. It's just a multi-million-dollar business. No way that would happen, So we're playing, and I sat in front of Jay Cope, and Cope was on the bus. He was like, well, what if we get a call and all of this is, and they say, hey, you got to go back? I was like, they may, but I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, so we were just talking back and forth on the bus. Like, man, what if it happens? I don't think so. Back and forth, back and forth. So we get up the next day, Thursday, we practice. at 2:00. And we are like, okay, we got practice. It's still floating around. It's just like an elephant in the room. Like, hey, are we going to talk about this? This is a good possibility. I think it's starting to sink in. I mean, you can see some of our seniors getting a little bit sad, kind of like, this could be it for us, you know? And yeah, I look over at Tyra and she had her head down, and that's when it kind of hit me, like this could be a reality. And I think it may have hit her too. And we were just sitting outside of the gym. Everyone's putting their shoes on, and she was kind of sitting over there by herself. And I mean, it's just hard to swallow. And I think she was just trying to process it all. And I mean, just looking over at her, that broke my heart, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, you just got to put your game face on, because at that point you never know. Because we were talking about, we were only allowed, I can't remember the number, we'll say 7 players at the time. And seven people that you could invite in. Each player had 7 people to invite into the game, because we were trying to shrink the numbers. Yeah, something like that. I don't know if it was 7, but they were trying to just shrink the crowd. Then it dropped down to maybe 4, you know, something like that, where each person on our roster could bring 4 people into the game. So we were like, okay, well, then the other thing got thrown out, no fans at all, you know, and we're like, hey, at this point, we just want to play. It doesn't matter who's there. And, you know, coach is firing us up. It's like a practice. You don't have fans when you practice every day. You're not there. No one's there at 6 a.m. And we're just firing up, mentally being prepared for having to play with no fans, which at this point, everybody's like, let's go. We're here. Let's play. So we step on the court, we practice, we had a great practice, just getting used to the rims, getting shots up. It's intense when you get there. You're not allowed to touch the balls at certain times. I get out the Lysol, I'm spraying the balls down, you know, we got wipes everywhere. I'm spraying the girls, you know, just spraying it in the air. I mean, we just don't know what's going on. And so, I mean, we got all kind of Lysol wipes, Clorox bleach wipes, and we're wiping down pads, and we're just trying to, I mean, I guess it wasn't really a joke at the time, but we just didn't know the seriousness of it, you know? So we went through practice, and then on our way back to the hotel, we get the call that it's over, you know? And we were getting calls that D1 had canceled. Then one of our players, her brother plays at the NAIA level, and they had canceled their tournament. And D3 had canceled. But, I mean, JUCO had canceled, but D2 and D3 hadn't canceled yet. And we're like, okay, come on, D2, you got this. Hang in there. We got this. Let's fight. But we knew once D1 made the call that we were all going to follow suit. So, I mean, we just kind of just took it on the chin, and we're like, hey, we're just thankful for these times that we have together. We had a good dinner, and it was kind of like the Last Supper, and we all just ate, break bread, and we had a good time. And it didn't end like we wanted to. It was very abrupt, and I don't think it was kind of surreal, to be honest with you. And it didn't really hit me until after spring break, you know, and it's like, oh, this is over, you know.
Definitely. And I don't know if you remember this conversation, but one of the many times I have been in your office, we were talking about, I think Tabor. We were just like talking about a conversation we had with Tabor, and just how important it was to like read scripture, and how you kind of felt the weight that like this season is going to be different. And I think you and Tabor talked about that, but like I think at the time we were talking about it in terms of like it's going to be different because of the expectation from last year, and then what you're going to be able to produce this year. But just kind of like, it's something that I've been thinking about, because I knew this was coming up, was like, man, at the beginning of this season, like we talked about it being different, and we talked about like digging in and the importance of just like holding to scripture and like what the Lord may have for this season for you guys. So it's kind of crazy that it took a turn that nobody expected.
Yeah, we definitely, when we were talking about that, I don't think we were talking about the whole world shutting down at the time. And all the sports being shut down. But I definitely think God had his hand on this season. And there was a lot of growth from a lot of players. And even you this year, you know, just from us and our conversations. But it was just a lot of growth on campus, and especially for our team. And just everyone thought that we would fall apart. And we've had this conversation before,
Yeah.
losing, our senior class. And I'm just really proud of these girls that there was a grit and a fight in them that just continued. And that's just the pride that we built as being a women's basketball player, that they wanted to continue that. There wasn't any give up in them. There was definitely a fight. And I think through our struggle, which our last game of the conference tournament, it was, and just the last games that we played during our regular season, there was some fight in them. Like, we weren't supposed to be number one, and we fought. There was some struggle during the season, and at the end, they just came together, and we played some unbelievable basketball towards the end of the year that allowed us to be in a good position.
Crazy.
Yeah, unbelievable. And just the confidence and the growth that we saw in some of those players, like Tyra Aska, that shot that she hit against Tech, that deep three, her as a freshman, she would have never shot it that far out or even shot it at all. She probably would have put it on the floor, but she didn't even hesitate, and she shot the ball, and it just put us in some good positions toward the end. And I think we honestly, looking back, we needed that loss against Monticello to fire us up to head. You just have to have a different chip in postseason play.
Oh,
you can't come in. Yeah. And you know about postseason play. You can't go in with the same mindset. You got to put on a different hat and a different grit about you. And sometimes during those times, and you can correlate it to the spiritual side, that during the times of hurt and pain, that is where you see the most growth. Because when everything is going good, sometimes you turn up and look towards God. But during that pain and during that struggle, you say, hey, you just surrender and you say, Lord, I need you. Lord, I need you. And sometimes he pulls things out of you did not know that you had. And I just think that happened towards the end of the year for us and throughout the whole year. So, it's just an awesome story to look back, and just see not really our young kids, but some of the kids, how they grew without our senior class.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was fun. It was fun to watch as well, just getting, like we said, like that grit and everything at the end. So that kind of leads me, now that we're on the basketball trail, into my next few questions. How did you get into coaching / like what brought you to Weatherford? Because Weatherford isn't usually a place that you look at the map and you're like, oh yeah, that's where I want to go.
Well, being a concrete kid, I'm from Arlington, Texas. Definitely anything about Oklahoma I wasn't about, like that's just being a Texan. You're not trying to go to Oklahoma. I'm not trying to be rude, but that is a place that that's not on your list to go stay and live. But I played at Fresno State, and then Coach Music was a coach there on staff. And it's just funny how God works. I was wanting to go to PT school, and I was a tech at the time, and I didn't know if I wanted to go OT route or the PT route. So I was a tech trying to figure it out. I definitely knew I didn't want to do speech therapy. So I was like, okay, OT or PT. And as I was going through, I kind of found that I would go the PT route just because I loved it. Was more like training and, more like sports side of everything. That's what I was used to. So
yeah.
I got a call from my assistant coach turned head coach, and he was like, hey, Coach Bond at the time got the head job at SWASU in Oklahoma. Would you want to go and help her? I was like, no, I'm good. Thank you, though, but I'm good. And I was originally supposed to go be DOPS for him at State, and that didn't work out with the whole, the economics there. It was just not going well at the time. And so that job didn't work out. So I was going to PT school. He called me about the job here, and he was like, just go check it out. And I was like, Coach Bond, I'll go check it out. I loved her. She was my fave when I was playing. And for her, I came. And I came here. She was showing me houses, and she took me to some trailer parks. And I was like, and she was like, oh, yeah, you can go over here. This was married housing was one of the next ones. And I was like, what is going on? I'm from the city, and a trailer park is not good living where I'm
Yeah.
from. And now that I look back, it's funny because some of these trailers are like cribs. You know, they got walk-in closets, they have pillars, and I've been in Oklahoma for a while now, and I'll take a trailer any day, a double wide. Those things are super nice. But being a city girl from, coming in, I just wasn't about that. So that's how I ended up here. I got a phone call and I just jumped all in. I loved Coach Music and who she was as a person. And I came here because of her. I didn't know anything about basketball. I love the game of basketball. Obviously, I played the game of basketball, but being on the other side of the court is totally different, And so she took me in and just let me be me. And that's why I've been with her almost 12 years now, because she never tried to change who I was. She let me learn. She let me make mistakes. But one thing I did for her is I worked hard. And still to this day, I will work hard. And I'm a loyal person. And I think work ethic is priceless. And that'll speak louder than any knowledge that you have. Just being a good person and willing to do whatever, to make this thing work. And I loved our girls. I loved them hard, probably harder than I should. And when I first came in, and she was like, she had to sit me down, and she was like, they're going to break your heart. There was just some kids I would just run circles for. And I'm like, why isn't she listening? Why won't she go to class? Why is she not doing this? And she's like, she's a kid. And I'm like, I was a kid too, and I would do this. And she was like, it just doesn't work like that. So just having to not really pull my heart out, but at the same time, just learning how to balance it all. And I just loved, and I loved hard. And I still have that same passion, but it's just more knowledge behind it now. And so I ended up here, and, obviously I met my husband here, and we have a family now. So
that's a power duo right there.
Oh, wow. But I'm just very thankful for, just the opportunity that she gave me, and the voice that she gave me, because a lot of assistants don't get that voice. And she gave me a voice, and she just never has changed me. And I'm forever grateful for that, and forever loyal for that. And she's definitely yin to my yang, and she's definitely opposite of me. And I'll go dancing down the hall, and she will go like slithering down the wall, down the hall, so we're definitely opposite people. And but I think that's the beauty behind it. We love our girls. We love SWASU. We love the game of basketball, and we're just competitors. And I think that's why, I'm still here with her. Mm-hmm. And we want to do the right things. And that's not always, people don't always want to do the right things. And, and I respect that. So
yeah,
dog for life. I was a bulldog playing, and now I'm a bulldog as a coach. So dog for life.
Absolutely. Okay. To kind of finish this out, I'm going to ask a little bit more, I guess, lighthearted, kind of some fun questions. But okay. What is your favorite restaurant in Weatherford / your takeout order?
Okay, I got two. Breakfast, let's go Downtown Diner. I have to go Downtown Diner. French toast, eggs, bacon, coffee. Their coffee is amazing. You got to get the real cream and sugar, like about that much sugar in there. And it is amazing, their food. And for lunch, taco soup. And then for dinner, I'm headed to Lucille's Chicken Bites all the way, salad, ranch, and a little Italian, just a little bit, and sweet tea and baked potato.
That's awesome.
And New Creations.
Oh, and New Creations. Yeah, we live at New Creations.
Yeah, yes. Shout out to Creation. They're my favorite.
Shout out to New Creations. Yes, and the iced protein coffee with caramel all day long.
I'm a shake in the morning, tea in the afternoon, every day, all day.
Let's go.
They're my favorite. Okay, did you watch The Last Dance?
Yeah.
I mean, I figured, but I didn't know. Are you more Kobe or MJ? Or are those like two that you don't really?
Have you seen my wall of greatness in my office? I have Michael Jordan, I have myself, and then I have Kelly Litch. And the only person I'm missing is Coach Music. I got to find an action shot of her to put on my wall of greatness. But MJ all day, MJ, like his mindset, I think he paved the way for a Kobe Bryant and for a LeBron. And unless you live during those times, you can't really understand that, who MJ was. But like I was talking to Katie real quick. I know we're probably running out of time. I was talking to Katie Percival. We call her KP. And she was saying, I wish I would have been able to watch him play. But as his career was ending, she was being born. So for her MJ was Kobe, you know, and for the younger kids that are in high school now, their MJ is LeBron. So I respect them all, but it's just the era that you lived in, you know. And I mean, for other people, it could have been Larry Bird, but MJ for me all day.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm super excited because that kind of gives me like a Sunday routine. You know, you wake up, you do church in the morning, and then you know that night the last dance is going to
Last dance. So, that's right.
Okay. I know I didn't send these to you, but I'm going to finish out with 2 would you rather questions.
Oh,
they're kind of random. We'll just see how it goes. Okay. My first one is, would you rather have a cook or a maid?
Maid.
So you can like sauce it up and stuff. You know how to cook?
Oh yeah, I can cook. Well, I mean, we can always crack an egg, but I need someone to get in that toilet, around the toilet, wipe the bathroom down. I need laundry done. I can crack an egg, make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I need someone to get some deep cleaning done for me.
Yeah. I would have picked the same thing. I'm there too. Okay, and then just the last one. It's kind of, I think I know what you're going to pick, but we'll see. Would you rather see let me see what it is. Oh, would you rather watch a big game at home or live at the stadium?
Definitely, I'm going to say home.
Really?
Yes.
That kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I would definitely say home. One, I can go get my snacks without waiting in line for 30 minutes. I'm all about a snack. And then just sitting on the couch and yes, I would love the people, but I mean, sometimes people they just do too much at the game. So I would like to rewind if I want to, or, kick back or pause it if I have to go to the bathroom. But if you have to go to the bathroom at a live game, that's it. Like, there's no going back, So, I mean, just that freedom, I guess that control I can have of, what's going on in my life. And having kids, that pause button is crucial. That is clutch, So definitely sitting at home and being able to go eat. But if it's a SWASU game, I definitely would want to be there just because you get to see people that but at a big, NBA game or something, I would definitely rather watch it on TV.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah. I think I'm a live at the stadium kind of person, but I just like the emotion of it all.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Also, the last thing I was going to say, do you know what today is or what today would have been?
I would say today's Earth Day, but because I'm homeschooling, I do know that.
School day.
It's a big event at SWASU.
Even school
big
day.
Event at SWASU?
Yeah.
No, tell me.
Today would have been the day we had our athletic banquet.
Oh, don't bring that up. That's sad. You just to end on a good note. That's terrible.
I thought about that at the beginning. I was like, what are the odds? We've been working all year through SAC. And for people who don't know what SAC is, it's Student Athletic Advisory Committee. And Sophie and I were part of that, and she was our rep. But we were working really hard for that athletic banquet. And then I got the notification this morning, and it was like, athletic banquet tonight at 6. And I was like,
don't. That's sad. That's so sad.
But
well, I'm so proud of y'all, everybody Pam and I couldn't ask for a better group. Y'all were awesome, and all that, the extra work. Because that's volunteer. Y'all don't get anything. Y'all don't get money. A t-shirt. But other than that, it's just volunteer, and y'all were amazing in the pride that y'all took in and put the effort that y'all put into it. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better group. I wish we could get everyone back. I don't know who's going to return or who's going to move on, but thank y'all. I mean, we officially didn't get to say that. So thank y'all to all the SAC members, all the meetings on Sunday nights, and just the effort that y'all put in. Priceless. Class, first class people.
All right. Well, that'll kind of conclude our 4th episode of the Table Talk. And I just wanted to say thank you for coming on.